Hello, welcome to the Hunter Anime 2.0. Subscribe. Let your comment blur by today's content. Naruto. 10 members of Akatsuki, from the weakest to the most powerful. Find out who was really in charge within the organization. Akatsuki brought together some of the most dangerous ninjas from across each shinobi world, each with a unique ability and a personal goal behind the black cape and red clouds. But not all members had the same firepower. We organized the 10 strongest names in the organization, from weakest to most powerful, so you can find out who was really in charge of the T Group. Hidan, religious fanatic and the organization's loudest member. Hidan is immortal thanks to his pact with the god Jashin. He can be stabbed, beheaded or set on fire and still stand. The problem is that this immortality depends on a blood ritual to work, and outside of it, Hidan doesn't have much of a combat repertoire. It's no surprise that his career in Akatsuki ended up buried, literally, by Shikamaru, with no chance of freeing himself. Konan, the only woman among the core members of Akatsuki, Konan transforms her own body into paper, creating wings, blades and explosives with a versatility that few opponents know how to face. She was also a key player behind the scenes, helping to keep Nagato hidden from the world and taking care of the strategic part of the organization. But does paper solve everything? Against opponents who play with fire or Zhu ignore the trick, the answer is no, and that's exactly how she fell to Obito. Deidara, a born artist and one of Sasori's biggest rivals within the organization itself, Deidara transforms clay into bombs using mouths that are in the palms of his hands, one of the most unique looks in the entire anime. His most famous move, the C4 microscopic powder explosive, wreaks havoc across a gigantic area before the opponent realizes the danger is coming. Still, against fast opponents or those capable of dodging genjutsu, like Sasuke, Deidara loses much of his advantage. Does this change value of his art? For him, never. Yes, you are enjoying the video, subscribe here and leave your comments. Sasori. Few Akatsuki members are as underrated as Sasori. He was the first to fall in combat in the group, but this does not diminish the size of his private army. Using the body's dead opponents as raw material, Sasori transformed dozens of puppets into deadly weapons, each concealing blades, poison, and hidden traps. The most disturbing detail is that he himself turned into a living puppet, abandoning much of his own humanity in exchange for almost unlimited chakra. Control. Kisame. Known as the Bloody Mist Monster, Kisame owns one of Naruto's most iconic weapons, the Samahata, a living sword that devours chakra with each strike. A master of water ninjutsu, he can shape lakes and liquid walls on the battlefield, creating conditions that would nullify any other shinobi. When it fuses with the sword itself, the result is an even more monstrous version of itself, capable of cornering even killer B-level opponents. Kakuzu, the treasurer of Akatsuki, is one of the most versatile ninjas on the list, mastering all 5 types of chakra element. At the same time, something very rare even among the big names in the shinobi world. His extra hearts, stolen from other ninjas over decades, practically guarantee Kakuzu a spare life every time he is defeated. It is no exaggeration to say that he came to rival in power with Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage, which in itself says a lot about the level of threat he represented. Yes, you are enjoying the video, subscribe here and leave your comment. Itachi Uchiha, a prodigy among prodigies, Itachi graduated from the Ninja Academy at age 6 and achieved the rank of ANB before of adolescence, a resume that no other member of Akatsuki has been able to match. Your real asset is in your eyes. With the Sharingan, he reacts to movements that most ninjas don't even notice, and his Mangekyo releases Tsukuyomi, considered the most devastating genjutsu in the entire series. When the situation requires it, Itachi even summons Susanoo, a chakra avatar the size of a building, and wields the sword of Totsuka, capable of sealing any soul forever. In the end, Itachi's greatest weakness was never a jutsu, it was his love for his younger brother. Pai. and self-proclaimed god of the shinobi world. Pain, actually Nagato's main body, controls 6 corpses through the Rinnegan, each specialized in a different type of power: gravity, summoning, chakra absorption, and even mental control. It was Pain who practically single-handedly destroyed Konoha, defeating the likes of Kakashi and Jiraiya in the process, making it clear why he was treated as the organization's most valuable weapon. Even Naruto, when he finally faced him, only managed to turn the tide with the help of the wise toads and one hell of a speech, not exactly through brute force. Yes, you are enjoying the video. Subscribe here and leave your comment. Obito Uchiha. If Itachi and Pain are already scary, Obito is basically the sum of the two with bonuses. He carries the Sharingan and Rinnegan at the same time, in addition to having inherited the White Zet's U-body, which grants him access to wood release. Trained directly by Madara, Obito learned to control Kamui, a space-time power that allows him to become intangible, teleport anything, and literally suck opponents into an alternative dimension. It was Obito who kept the real Akatsuki runnin' behind the scenes for years, even manipulating Pain himself without anyone suspecting. Madara Uchiha, at the top of the list, could only be the real brain behind everything. Madara does not appear in most of the Akatsuki timeline, but he was the one who planted the first seeds of the organization. In through Nagato, and when he finally enters the field, he shows why he is treated as one of the strongest ninjas in the entire history of Konoha. Owner of the Sharingan and, later, the Rinnegan, Madara also masters wood release, something that only Hashirama Senju, his greatest rival, could also do. His complete Susanoo fights on equal terms with Bijus, and yet he manages to return from the dead, command the statue of the Rabbi Goddess, and almost impose infinite Tsukuyomi on the entire world alone. If Akatsuki had a true god behind the black hood and the red clouds, his name is Madara. If you liked today's videos, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on news from the world of anime. Monthly season premiere guides, complete summaries, lists of the best finished anime, and much more. See you in the next video, and don't forget to leave a comment.